Hello, welcome to all my first grade friends. My name is Mrs. Potts, and I'm a certified teacher in this state of Tennessee. It's great to see your smiling faces. Thanks for joining me today. We're going to be talking about numbers, and we're going to use a specific math tool called a 10 frame. I know most of you are familiar with this, but if you're not, what do you notice about it? Yes, you are noticing that there are 5 rectangles on top and 5 on the bottom. This tool is going to help us as we count numbers today. Let's get ready. Let's look at this 10 frame together. How many dots do you see and how do you see them? Okay, yes, I'm hearing you say you see 4 on the top. How do you see those 4? Dominique, you see 2 and 2. 4, yes. Dominique, how do you see them on the bottom? You see 3 on the bottom. Does anyone else see them the same way? Give me a thumbs up. Yes, I'm seeing lots of thumbs up. So we have 4 on the top and 3 on the bottom. Does anyone see them in a different way? Nope, we're all together. Great. So let's think about how we can find out how many there are in all. What can we do? Yes, Tim, you're right. We can count them. Let's use our counting on strategy to see how many dots we have in all. 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7 dots in all. Now, let's go a step further and write a math expression to show our thinking. How many dots were on the top? 4. And how many were on the bottom? 3. 4 and 3 make 7. There are 7 dots in all. Great job. Let's do another. Again, I'm going to ask you the question, how many dots do you see and how do you see them? What are you thinking, Adair? You see those same 4 dots on the top, and then on the bottom you see 6 dots. How did you see those 6 dots? Oh, you're seeing them in groups of 2, or partners. Okay, yes. Does anyone see them differently? All right, Katie. Katie said she sees 3 on the top and 3 on the bottom to make 6. That's another way to see them. How can we know how many we have in all? Aaron? We can use our counting on strategy. You're right. So let's do that now. Let's use our counting on strategy to see how many dots we have in all. Let's start at the top. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How many dots do we have in all? 10. That's exactly right. Tommy, you said that makes sense to you because you know that 6 and 4 make 10, and you've been working on making a group of 10. That's great. Why don't we write a math expression to show our thinking? How many dots are on the top? 4. That's right. And how many are on the bottom? 6. Yes, there's 6 dots on the bottom. And we know that 4 and 6 more make 10. Great, wonderful. Oh, Jessie, you have an idea. Jessie said, can we put the dots on the bottom on the top to fill up the 10 frame and make a group of 10? Can we do that? Yes, that's exactly what we did. We added the dots on the bottom to the top and made a group of 10. Now let's put them back. And now we show our equation again. 4 and 6. I love thinking about math, don't you? Let's do another. Okay, you know the questions. How many dots do you see and how do you see them? Yes, Jennifer's saying she sees those same 4 dots on the top. How many are you seeing on the bottom, Jennifer? You see 8. How do you see them? You see them with 4 on the top and 4 on the bottom. That's one way. Is there another way to see those dots? Yes, Keith. Keith is seeing them in groups of 2. So there's a group of 2, a group of 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Yes, that's exactly right. That's another way to see them. Any other ways? Okay, you know what we want to do next. We want to count our dots. How can we do that? Oh, okay, Dallas. Dallas wants to know if we can move 2 of these dots down here and make a group of 10. Let's try it. Can we do that? Yes, we can do that and make a group of 10. That leaves how many on the top? 2. Yeah. So let's write a math expression to show that way. We have 2 on the top plus 10 on the bottom, and we have how many in all? Right, 10, 11, 12. 12 in all. That's one way to count our dots. Let's try another way. Does anybody have any other suggestions? Yes, I see someone else has a way. That's right, Adair. You can just use 4 and then count on. That's our counting on strategy. So everybody do it with me. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yes, there are 12 dots in all. But you know we need to write a math expression to show our thinking. So whisper to yourself or to someone around you, what math expression might you write to show our thinking? Tyree, what did you think about? You think we should write 4 because there are 4 dots on the top, and 8 because there are 8 dots on the bottom, to show that 4 and 8 make 12. That's another way. I love that we had looked at 2 different ways that we could make the number 12 and 2 different ways that you saw your dots. Let's try another. We have another set of dots. So how many dots do you see and how do you see them? All right, Andre. Andre says he sees 5 on the top and 5 on the bottom. Thumbs up if you see your dots that way. Yes, I do too. I see what you're saying. So, Andre, if we see 5 on the top and 5 on the bottom, do you know how many dots we might have in all? Andre says 10. Andre, why do you say that? Because you know that 5 and 5 make a group of 10. And if we moved these dots up, we would have 10. So Andre is saying that 5 on the top and 5 on the bottom will fill up a 10 frame and they make 10. So let's write a math expression to show our thinking. How many are on the top again? Everybody say it. 5. How many are on the bottom? Yes, 5. And we know that 5 and 5 make how many? Everybody? 10. Wonderful. Did anybody have another way? I'm seeing head shaking no. Everybody had this way of making the number 10. Give me 5. 5. Wonderful. I love when we share how we think. Are you ready to see another 10 frame? I have one ready for you. Here it is. How many dots do you see and how do you see them? Yes, you would be right, Jameson. There are still 5 on the top. And yes, I did add 1 to the bottom. I wasn't trying to trick you. I wanted to see what you would think about that. So now we know there are 5. And how many on the bottom? How did you see these? You saw 6 because you know 5 and 1 more make a group of 6. Yeah, that's right. Did anybody see them in a different way? Oh, I see someone said they saw them as 5 and 5 and 1 more. So let's do this. Let's count how many we have in all. Let's start with 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We used our counting on strategy to get to 11. Let's write a math expression. It's time to write a math expression to show our thinking. How many dots do we have on the top? 5. And how many dots do we have on the bottom? 6. And how many dots did we say we had in all? Yes, we have 11 dots in all. But someone mentioned that they have another way of doing this. So we want to move some dots to the top. Is that what you said? Let's do it. Let's move these dots to the top. Now what do we have? We have 10 and one more make 11. So we can write another math expression to show that. We can say how many are on the top? 10 and one more make 11. Great job. How many dots do you see and how do you see them? Steph, how many dots do you see? You see 5 on the top. And how many do you see on the bottom? 5. How did you know there were 5 on the bottom? You counted. You counted them all. Any other people see them in a different way? Oh, we have another friend. We have Alonzo. You said you saw them in a group of 4 and one more. That makes 5. That's another way. Did anyone see these in another way? So let's write a math expression to show our ways that we have been thinking. How many dots are on the top? Cam, there are 5 dots on the top. And how many are on the bottom? 5 are on the bottom, and we know 5 and 5 make the number 10. That's right. Rondalyn wants us to move these 2 on the top, and look what we have. We have 5 on the top and 5 on the bottom to make the number 10. Will it change our math expression? No, it doesn't change our math expression because all we did was move our dots around. And we already know we can do that. Okay, friends, let's talk about how many dots do you see and how do you see them? Okay, I see a lot of people holding up the number 5. You see 5 dots, but how do you see them, Becky? Becky sees that same 5 on the top. And what do you see on the bottom, Wayne? You see 4. How do you see that 4, Wayne? You see 2 on the top and 2 on the bottom. Does anyone see them in a different way? Joshua sees them in groups of 2. Absolutely. So let's try to count our dots together and see how many we have in all. Who wants to use our counting on strategy? Give me a thumbs up. Great, let's do it. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. How many dots do we have in all? 9. There are 9 dots in all. Now it's time to write our math expression. How many do we have on the top? 5. Plus, how many are on the bottom? 4. And we know that 5 and 4 make 9. Yay, give yourself a pat on the back. 5 and 4 make 9. You all did a wonderful job today with looking at our 10 frame, seeing how many dots we had and how we saw them. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. You also were wonderful at using your counting on strategy to see how many dots in all, because we know our counting on strategy is way more efficient than trying to count all the dots every time. It was wonderful to see you, and I can't wait to see you again. Have a wonderful day. Bye.
So today it is story day. I'm so excited that we're going to read 100 Bugs, a counting book. Are you ready? Awesome. Here we go. 100 Bugs, a counting book. Explorers, explorers, rising with the sun, hat on the creaky door, pat on the shiny floor, It's time for some bug counting fun. Walking sticks hiding all about. 1 by the old hose, 9 by the gold rose. How many bugs hiding about? 10. Dragonflies, zipping all about. 2 by the weather vane, 8 by the bug vein. How many bugs zipping about? 10. Leaf hoppers, hopping all about. 3 by the Pharaoh, 7 by the yarrow. How many bugs hopping about? 10. Ladybugs, zooming all about. 4 by the rafters, 6 by the asters. How many bugs zooming about? 10. Bumblebees, buzzing all about. 5 by the horse feed, 5 by the sneeze weed. How many bugs buzzing about? 10. How many bugs out and about? 50 bugs hanging out. Butterflies, flitting all about. 6 by the rain boot, 4 by the snake root. How many bugs flitting about? 10. Damselflies, darting all about. 7 by the wishing well, 3 by the coral bells. How many bugs darting about? 10. Spittlebugs, jumping all about. 8 by the chicken cage, 2 by the woodland sage. How many bugs jumping about? 10. Katydids, singing all about. 9 by the wooden box, 1 by the white phlox. How many bugs singing about? 10. Lightning bugs, flying all about. 10 by the happy boy, 0 by the autumn joy. How many bugs flying about? 10. 10 bugs hanging out. 10 from before plus 10 more, 20 bugs hanging about. 20 from before plus 10 more, 30 bugs hanging out. 30 from before plus 10 more, 40 bugs hanging out. 40 from before plus 10 more, 50 bugs hanging out. 50 from before plus 10 more, 60 bugs hanging out. 60 from before plus 10 more, 70 bugs hanging out. 70 from before plus 10 more, 80 bugs hanging out. 80 from before plus 10 more, 90 bugs hanging out. 90 from before plus 10 more, 100 bugs out and about. Hip hop hooray, it's a 100 bug count day. The end. That was such a super story. Did you hear lots of numbers in this story? Me too. I heard lots of tens. I heard 50. I heard 100. I heard all kinds of numbers. I think we should go back and read again. And let's check the math in the story. What do you say? Awesome. All right, let's do it. Let's go back to the very beginning of the book. And at the very beginning of the book, talks about walking sticks. So let's see here, a walking stick. There's some walking sticks on the screen, and it says 1 by the old hose, 9 by the gold rose. Okay, here's 1 to be by the old hose. And how many else do we need? 9. So let's make sure we have 9 over here. You ready to help me count? Can you count out aloud with me? Fabulous. Say it really good. Say it really loud. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. So we had 1 and we have 9. And it then says how many bugs hiding about. It says that should be 10. Should we count and make sure it's 10? Would you count with me? Fabulous. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Louder. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 walking sticks. 1 and 9. That gave us 10. That's so awesome. All right, let's go to the next page. Let's check it. It said dragonflies, and there were 2 by the weather vane. All right, here's our 1, 2 by the weather vane. And it says 8 by the bug vane. Should we count and check to make sure that that's 8? Let's count. Are you ready? Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Whew, that is 8. So we have 2 and then 8. And it says that makes how many bugs zipping about? It says 10. Let's check. Would you count out loud with me? And let's check and make sure that this one's 10 too. Awesome. All right, here we go. Count really loud. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 10 dragonflies. That is so cool. All right, let's go to the next page. Leaf hoppers. Do you know what a leaf hopper looks like? I didn't really know what a leaf hopper looked like either until I read this story. So here are some leaf hoppers. And the story says there's 3 by the Pharaoh. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3. And then 7 by the yarrow. Let's count 7. Are you ready? Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and it says that that should be 10 bugs hopping about. Should we check and make sure it's 10? Fabulous. Okay, count with me. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 leaf hoppers. That is so cool. So we've seen 10 leaf hoppers, 10 dragonflies, and 10 walking sticks. All right, do you remember what the next bug was? Ladybugs. That's right. And it said for ladybugs there were 4 by the rafters and 6 by the asters, which is a kind of flower. All right, let's count. Let's see. Here's our 4 that were by the rafters. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then there were 6 by the asters. Let's make sure that's 6. You're right, it does look like the 6 on a dice. I bet it's 6 too. Let's check it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It is 6. That's so exciting. So we should have, according to the story, how many bugs zooming about? That should be 10. Should we count them and check? Awesome. Let's count and check. Here we go. Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 ladybugs. Awesome. All right, the next bug in the story, what was it? Bumblebees. And it said there were 5 by the horse feed and 5 by the sneeze weed. Should we count the 5 and make sure they're there? Here's the 5 that could have been by the horse feed. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The other 5 were by the sneeze weed. Let's make sure it's 5. Are we ready? Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Super fantastic. And so how many bumblebees do we think are on the page? Shout it out. Say it louder. That's right. It should be 10. The story says how many bugs buzzing about? 10. Let's count. Make sure that's 10 bumblebees. Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10 bumblebees. That's so exciting. What's really cool is the next page says how many bugs out and about. We've seen 50 bugs. Oh my gosh. So we've had 10 walking sticks, 10 dragonflies, 10, oh, what were those little guys called? I don't remember. Let me go back and look. Leaf hoppers, that's it. 10 leaf hoppers, 10 ladybugs, and 10 bumblebees. How could we count to check and make sure that that's 50? Good thinking. We could count by tens. Remember, when we count by tens, it's counting groups. Like we've talked a lot about counting popsicle sticks, that if I have 10 popsicle sticks bundled together, I can go 10. And then if I pick up another set that's bundled together, I could go 20. So 10, 20. Could we do that with our bugs to check and make sure that there really are 50 bugs hanging out? Let's do it. Here we go. Count with me. Okay, here we go. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. There's 50 bugs hanging out. That is so many bugs that we have counted. And the story wasn't even over, because next it talked about butterflies. And it said that there were 6 by the rain boot and 4 by the snake root. Should we count and make sure Miss Virginia has 6 and 4? Count with me. Let's count the 6 by the rain boot first. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Awesome. And then there were 4 by the snake root. So let's count those 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And how many butterflies does the story say? How many bugs flitting about? 10. That's right. So let's check and make sure that's 10. Are you ready to count with me? Great. Count extra loud. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 butterflies. That is so awesome.